Okay, so we continue our Zohar reading, beresheet, verse 50. Another dispute was settled like above, a dispute that rose and did not come down, and was based on decency. Was that between Shimon and Hillel. Shammai was the aspect of the left on high, while Hillel was the aspect of the supernal light, and the Holy One, blessed be He, intervened between them and approved of them. This means that the difference and arguments between Shammai and Hillel reached them from the central column of above, which is the secret of the Holy One, blessed be He. This was a dispute for the name of heaven and the heavens. Zerampin reconciled this dispute to establish both. Because of this, their illuminations continue to exist. This dispute is like the work of creation. It is similar to what the central column achieves for the sake of establishing the work of creation. But Korah denied the establishment of the work of creation, and the dispute was toward the heavens, namely Zerampin, that is, the reconciling column. And he wanted to deny the principles of the Torah, which is Zerampin. Assuredly, this dispute and denial was the result of the efforts of Gehenom, and its power of judgment cleaved to Korah, and he to it. Thus he fell into Gehenom. This secret appears in the book of Adam. When darkness was aroused to take control, it emerged in all its might and created Gehenom within it. And Gehenom cleaved to it and that dispute. As the anger and the might of the Geverot were calmed down, the dispute was aroused in a different manner as a dispute of love. There were two kinds of disputes, one at the beginning and one at the end. This is the path of the righteous, which is hard in the beginning, because it is full of suffering, but ends in peace. Korah, being the left, was the beginning of the dispute between the right and the left, which was full of anger and fierceness. Each wanted to diminish the illumination of its neighbor. From this, Gehenom emerged, and Korah cleaved to Gehenom. Shammai was also the aspect of the left, but at the end of the dispute between the right and the left, when anger was forgotten and the dispute of love was set in motion, so as to receive approval from the heavens, which is the column that settles the dispute. This is the secret of the verse. So this is verse 53. This is the secret of the verse. Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide. Beresheet 1:6. This is the first dispute aroused by anger and force, in which each wanted to overcome and annul its neighbor. The Holy One, blessed be He, wished to nullify the dispute, and Gehenom was aroused until the anger and aggressiveness cooled down. Then it is written, and Elohim made the firmament and divided. This division is the dispute, carried with love and friendship, which supports the world. According to this secret, namely through the dispute of love, is carried the dispute between Shammai and Hillel, namely the dividing of, and Elohim made the firmament at the end of the dispute. On the other hand, the dispute of Korah was one of anger, which is the dividing of, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters. At the beginning of the dispute, so the dispute of Shammai and Hillel was for the sake of heaven, in which the oral Torah, which is the secret of the female principle, entered with love into the written Torah, which is Zeir Anpin and called heaven, and they were in perfect union. 54. Division certainly applies to the left alone, as is written in relation to the second day, and let it divide, while of Korah it is written, is it but a small thing to you that Elohim of Yisrael has separated you? Bamidbar 16:9. It is also written, at that time Hashem separated the tribe of Levi. Devarim 10:8. So assuredly, the separation appears only in the second day in this place of the left. 55. You may ask, if division occurs definitely on the second day, why then is the separation mentioned about Levi? Who is the third son of Jacob? It should have been associated with Shimon, who is the second son of Jacob. The answer is that although Levi is the third son, according to Jacob's mind, he is the second, because Reuben is not considered the first son of Leah, as at the time Jacob thought he was with Rachel. So the separation is forever in the second, because after the division has occurred in the second, everything goes smoothly along the straight path in a perfect way, as it should do. This is because by the separation the lights enclose each other and are completed by each other. Verse 56. And Havdalah, prayer of separation, this is performed at the end of Shabbat, is for the purpose of separating those powers that are dominant during the day of the week from holiness, that is dominant during Shabbat. With the ending of Shabbat, one aspect of Gehinnom appears. It is the evil eye that desires to govern the world, just as the children of Yisrael recite, O prosper it, for work for our hands. Tehillim 90:17. It emerges from that grade of the other side, which is called the left, and wishes to mingle with the seed of Yisrael by taking control over the Holy Covenant and having power to punish Yisrael. Verse 57. While the children of Yisrael performed in action a precept using the myrtle and the wine and recite the Havdalah, the other side departs from them. That side is lowered and enters into its place in Shul, in the place where Korah and his company are. As it is written, they and all that appertained to them went down alive into Sheol. Bamidbar 16:33. So Korah and his company did not go down to Gehinnom until Yisrael separated from them. As it is written, separate yourselves from among this congregation. Here as well, the other side does not go to Gehinnom at the ending of Shabbat before Yisrael performs the Havdalah. So the separation, Havdalah, is always on the second day, which is the left column. This refers to what has already been explained, that even the Havdalah at the ending of the Shabbat is extended to separate the other side that extends from the left column. It was at the beginning of the dispute, which was aroused by the aggressiveness and anger of the left before it was calmed down and quieted, that Gehinnom was created. Then were created all these angels that denounce before the Holy One, blessed be He. Their master above, the secret of the central column, they disagree with his reconciliation and deviate to the left. Therefore, fire burns them up and they are consumed. and the other angels, all those who are annulled and have no support, are burned in the fire. All these have come from the power of the fire of the dispute in the beginning on the second day. Similarly, Korah fell down into Gehinnom and burned, just like those angels who burned in the fire of Nahar Dinur, the river of fire. And everything follows the same manner, extending from beginning of this dispute with the fire of anger. 59, verse 59. Let there be a firmament tells us that an expansion has occurred between the two. The lower waters expanded and were separated from the upper waters, and the upper waters expanded and were separated from the lower waters by the firmament. The letters El, Aleph Lamed, and the name Elohim, Aleph Lamed He Yud Mem, from the firmament up are of the right part. In other words, El always alludes to the name of Chesed, which is the right side. The name Great El has expanded from within the waters and is separated from them. This means that because of the firmament, the name Great El has separated upward and has separated itself from the other waters, namely the three rivers, He, Yud, and Mem. This was to complete the name El and to include the upper and lower waters within each other. Through that expansion, and the name El of Elohim expanded, leaving only the three letters He, Yud, and Mem. He, Yud, Mem then expanded down below the firmament and became the lower waters. Yud, Mem, He, this is the expansion into the second one. This is He, Yud, Mem into Yud, Mem, He. The upper waters are He, Yud, Mem, as written. So is this great and wide sea. Hayam. He, Yud, Mem. Tehillim 104:25. Thus, He, Yud, Mem are the upper waters. If the letters He, Yud, Mem are in reversed order, that is, Yud, Mem, He, this indicates they are lower waters. Once the letters Yud, Mem, He were restored, they ascended and rose above the firmament and joined the name Great El and returned to the combination of the Great Sea, Hayam, which was He, Yud, Mem. Then everyone, El and He, Yud, Mem, were united as one, resulting in one name, Elohim. And this name, Elohim, reached into many places. And that will be where we stop, and we'll start again with our reading on verse 60. God bless.